Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is a support group requested video, and I'm pulling up the survivor's questions. And she asked me, when you are discarded, what is the correct way to handle it and move on? Everyone always make a point to say they discarded the narcissist first, but what if you didn't? Should you feel worse then? All right, so let's go over her questions. First question, when you are discarded, what is the correct way to handle it and move on? All right. Well, at the end, you kind of gave your answer right there. We're going to move on. Let's get a little deeper below the surface with it. What is the correct way to handle it? The correct way to handle it actually is to not take it personally. All right. And the correct way to handle it is to accept an ending. The correct way to handle it is basically having the correct perceptions of ending of that relationship. You know, a lot of people struggle with that if they idealize the relationship and they thought it was going to be something else. And then there's a resistance because you still want it to be that, although the person is showing you something else. So stepping out of your emotions and into your logic and rationalizing, hey, this is a grown adult. They want to part ways from me. Why would I want to then try to twist somebody's arm or try to further prove my worthiness to someone who is not reciprocating, to someone who wants to be away from me? This is when you have to accept the ending and accept it as your protection and let this person go their way. All right, because when we force the issue, and if they decide to come back just to use you some more, that'll be what their intent is for. You know, if someone doesn't want to freely and willingly stay with me without me begging and twisting my arm and bending over backwards, what type of situation do I really have here? All right, so the best way to handle it is to handle it like you should with any other area of your life, and hopefully have that emotional maturity to say, you know what, if it was for me, it would not be leaving me. If it was for me right now in this season, I would have it. The fact that it is moving away from me means that it should be moving away from me. Okay? So in order to move on, you really want to think about what was actually going on in that relationship. And chances are you were very good to that person and they still want to leave you. So they didn't appreciate you. So when we keep those rosy colored glasses off, we look at the facts of the situation and we have the emotional maturity to accept an ending. That is the best way to handle it. Okay? Now, the next part of your question, you said, everyone always makes a point to say they discarded the narc, but what if you didn't? Should you feel worse? No, you shouldn't feel worse. Why should you feel worse either way? You know, we put so much stock into other people and into external relationships. We really do. And we make it so complicated. We put relationships on a throne. And we shouldn't. You know, our external relationships with other people is what I'm talking about right now. Because we have one with ourselves as well that needs the most nourishment. And a lot of times it doesn't. It gets the opposite. You know, we're giving it to everybody but ourselves. All right. So no, you shouldn't feel worse that someone wants to move away from you. That is a sign of someone that is taking it personally, and not only taking it personally, they're attaching themselves to somebody else's values, somebody else's opinions and thoughts about them. And that speaks to someone that could possibly be codependent. Okay? So when you know that you've been good, when you know that you've given your best and that wasn't good enough for them, okay, go. I don't need to be surrounded by people who take me for granted and who don't appreciate me. You're doing me a favor at that point by removing yourself. Now stay gone. But we know at narcissists, typically they like to come back a lot of times, especially the better you were to them, the more chance or the odds is that they're going to want to come back. All right. So no, it's not a personal reflection on me. It only becomes that when we decide to put their thoughts on the throne, when we decide to enmesh ourselves with other people's minds and what they think and perceive. Okay. And then at that point, we're stepping into their reality and we're living our life through, their realities. And that means we're less authentic in that moment as far as being tapped into ourselves. All right. So no, you shouldn't feel worse either way. I mean, if they wanted to end it, okay, it didn't work for them. It didn't suit them. But when we're talking about a narcissist, they just want to go do something to someone else at this point. They want to go use somebody else. If you had to do it and go ahead and stand up for yourself and put an end to the abuse, to the usury, then you had to do it. But if they did it for you, then they did you a favor. It's like I said in other videos, the trash took itself out. So you should not feel bad. So the correct way to handle it is to accept the ending and go no contact. Ultimately, accept the ending and do not invite it back into your life again. That is the correct way to handle it and move on. Be very careful if you've shared sensitive information with them or if they have access to your financial accounts. I've made videos about 10 things to do before you discard the narcissist. I highly recommend you guys watch that video. Give me time after I upload it. I'll link it. But yeah, the best way to handle it is to not take it personally. Take your lessons, whatever you learn from this situation, because temporary people, they come with their lessons for you. There's something that you're going to take out of that situation. It could be multiple things that you could take out of that situation so that you can improve upon yourself. Okay. Learn what you can. Don't take it personally and be happy that the trash took itself out. Okay. Don't take it personal. Don't attach yourself and your self-esteem to somebody else's thoughts and opinions of you. That is certainly putting them on the throne. The narcissist is not your maker. Basically the narcissist is not your God. Okay. You were living before you met them. You'll be living afterwards. All right. So don't give them that authority. Don't give them that power. Who are they? Are you kidding me? Reclaim your power. Step in your strength. Know who you are. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Okay? So I hope, this helps that survivor. And, look into learning more about codependency. And perhaps look into rejection and abandonment issues. I'm feeling that, Spirit is telling me I'm feeling that as I read your questions. Your worth does not depend on somebody else's acceptance and approval of you. Okay? If they can't see, if they can't appreciate all that you bring to the table, all that you've given them, then you should be more than happy to let them go. Because life is too short to be giving your precious energy and resources, time you can never get back, to someone who's just using you and that, doesn't accept you for who you are, doesn't bring light into your life, just abuses you. Like, you deserve so much more. All right. So if you actually were standing in your strength and that pushed the narcissist away, why would you feel worse that they discarded you? It's an indication that perhaps maybe you weren't standing in your strength and that narcissist was taking advantage of you. They got what they wanted and then they discarded you. But that's what people that manipulate and use people, that's what con artists do. They got what they wanted and now it's on to the next person that they want to victimize, that they want to use. Okay, maybe you had your discernment and your inner voice telling you to stop, but you kept going, ignoring the red flags. That's a possibility as well. And now you feel worse because now they've ended it when you've had many opportunities to end it. That happens as well. So many, situations, come up in these type of relationships. But ultimately, yes, when you are discarded, what is the correct way to handle it and move forward? Take your lessons, go no contact, and don't take it personal. All right, don't invite it back. All right, guys, so if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Approaching 500 videos here to help you understand narcissistic abuse, increase your emotional maturity, learn more about relationships and psychology and the human mind, etc., etc. I put them all into playlists to help you find topics. Okay, go through the playlist. You know, just take what you can to help you on your journey. They do not teach emotional maturity in school, you know, and this is how people can be book smart and don't even have common sense, or they, you know, have ignorance or naivety about relationships, including the ones with themselves. All right. So take what you can off of a channel like this. Great ways to support the channel is to always like and comment on my videos. It pushes YouTube algorithm to push the video out more. Okay. Other than that, always check the description for things that are going on with the channel and services that I offer, like coaching. Go to LakiaCrawford.com to schedule your appointment. The support group that I run off of Facebook, the Patreon, where you can get extended videos and exclusive videos that will only be on Patreon and never on any other platform. Also, it's a happy medium between YouTube and my website, where you can get similar services, like similar to coaching services, but more at a lesser rate, if you will, is, you know, saving money. All right. So if you wanted to get coaching from me and you're just trying to save up your money, perhaps Patreon might be a happy medium where you can get further access to me, more information, and more services provided for you at rates that may be more affordable. Okay, so look into that. I've written books. I have the No Narc Zone merchandise on my website. You know, just look into that. And the channel does accept donations, of course, through PayPal, through Venmo, through Cash App. And I have my Amazon wish list. If you ever wanted to send a gift to Coach Lakia, you're very welcome. All right. But either way, guys, just continue to do the work. Thanks for tuning in. I love the growth of the channel. I absolutely enjoy what I do. I have lots more content coming your way. And if you have requested a video from me, I have not forgotten. I'm going down my list and I'm pretty good about this. So I do have a playlist called Viewer Requested. So if you have requested, you can always check in that list to see if your video has been added. Okay, guys? All right. Until next time, please take care.